Hello there friends and followers, and welcome to this Explain 11 video. We are currently situated at Edinburgh Airport in Scotland, and today we're going to be flying the JARDesign A330 service to Dublin Airport in Ireland. A little bit of information about our flight today. We are going to be departing runway 24 here at Edinburgh, and we're going to be doing an ILS approach at Dublin runway 28. This scenery of Edinburgh Airport is that of Orbex, and in my view this is one of the very best renditions from Orbex of an airport. If you like flying this part of the world, I highly recommend Edinburgh Airport by Orbex. For shaders, sky colors and clouds in this video, I am using X-Vision with the Vivid preset, and we are also using Traffic Global by Just Flight for AI traffic. The ATC chatter you hear in the background is that of ATC chatter, and it is non-interactive ATC. So without further ado, let's get started. While the aircraft is loaded up with baggage and passengers, we're going to set the fuel. We're going to need about 12,000 kilos of fuel for this flight according to our sim brief plan. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. So refuel, restart. And we are now going to head over to the cockpit to prepare the aircraft for our flight. So let me disable X camera. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to turn on the batteries. Battery 1 and 2 is on, APU battery is on, external power is on, and we now have electrical power to the aircraft. We're going to begin our flows from bottom to top, left to right. We're going to head over here, set the adheres to nav mode, and we're going to come down here, set nav lights to on. Refueling is complete, so we can turn on the seatbelt signs on, non-smoking signs on, arm the emergency lights, and turn on our fuel pumps. Alright, and let's turn on our radios. Radios are turned on, and we can now start programming the MCDU, or the MCDU. Right, so we are going to bring up the MCDU here, and we're going to go to init. I've downloaded the flight plan from SimBrief, so we are at Echo Golf Papa Hotel, and we're going to Echo India Delta Whiskey, which is Dublin Airport. That's the company route, and insert. Flight number today is Aer Lingus, and by the way, Aer Lingus does not fly this route in an A330. They fly it in an ATR, but you know, we're just gonna do our own thing today, and the cost index is 54. Cruise level today is 24,000 feet. It's a very short flight. Align IRS, and now we can go to the next page here and select block fuel and zero fuel. All our fuel prediction is now set. We can now go to the flight plan and select the departure, which is runway 24, through the Go-Sun-1 Charlie departure, and insert that. And then we're going to head over to our destination, which is Dublin Airport. Select the arrival. We are going to be arriving Dublin ILS 28 through the NEMA 1 X-ray star. And we're going to insert that, and all is done here. Okay, let's go to performance, and we're going to set V1 135, V rotate 138, and V2 at 141. Transition altitude is 6,000. Thrust reduction is set, and flex temperature is 67. And the trim, we're going to do flaps 1 today for departure, 0.1 up for the trim. Stick that here, and everything here is set. Okay, let's start the APU. APU master is on, and we'll just wait here. Yeah, we can start it. So starting the APU, and in the meantime we're going to add some lights here. So We can improve visibility in the cockpit. Okay, let's set our altitude to the cruise altitude of 24,000 feet. And that is set, and now we can listen to the altimeter. So let's set the frequency here. We need VHF1.
Echo Golf Papa Hotel Airport information. Echo 0620 Zulu weather wind 241 at 15 visibility 10,000 sky condition ceiling 1,300 overcast temperature 12 dew point 11 QNH 0991 advice on initial contact. You have information. Echo.
All right, information echo, and the altimeter is set to 0991. We are good here. Let's check the APU. All right, so APU bleed is on, and we can now turn off the external power. Okay, and we are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna now turn, actually let's dismiss the ground services. So let's come back here, ground handling, drive away, and that should take care of it. And we just need to wait for the IRS now to align. About 5 minutes before full alignment, everything is configured. We're going to turn on the beacon lights here. Beacon lights are on, and we are pretty much ready for engine start as soon as the IRS is aligned. While the IRS alignment is completing, we're going to go ahead and call the pushback truck. And we're going to call the pushback truck here from the Mach-2 pushback call. There we go. And we're just going to wait for the pushback truck now to arrive and lock itself into position. And then we're going to begin pushing back and starting our engines. There is the pushback truck. One of the things I like about the JARDesign is that it's got everything built in, ground handling and the pushback feature as well. So the only thing we need to do is now wait for the pushback truck to lock itself into position. IRS alignment is almost there, so yeah, so now it is, we're just going to wait for this to stop blinking and then we're good to go. Yeah, there's the pushback truck. Alright, so it looks like we are ready for push now. And the IRSs are also aligned. So we're going to release the parking brake.
Park brake off.
And we're going to start the push out of our position. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and start our engines. We're going to go to engine mode selector and start with engine number 2. I really don't know why the textures of this aircraft have not been improved. Well, they have, but they're still not very representative of the real Airbus. The colors are off and the textures really need work. Okay, I think we can stop the push here. And let's see. Alright, engine number 2 is stable. Let's start engine number 1.
Starting engine 1.
So the 3D model, the exterior 3D model is pretty good. But the interior, I feel, still needs a lot of work to make it more immersive. And by the way, this aircraft is by no means a study level simulation of the A330, but it is the best A330 available in X-Plane. Okay, so we're waiting for engine number 2, engine number 1 to start. We can remove the pushback truck.
Park brake on.
Park brake is on. Okay. Stick here to flight plan, and what we can do at this point is, while the engine is stabilizing, we can set the auto brake to max. arm the spoilers.
Spoilers armed.
And flaps 1 for departure.
Flaps 1.
And TARA. Okay. As you can see now, we can see the traffic coming. There is an aircraft landing here, and we can see this here. TCAS is working properly. As you can see, this is the aircraft here coming to land. Alright, so both engines are now stable, and we can turn on the lights, runway turn off lights, nose light to taxi. We can turn off the engine mode selector or set it to normal, and we can turn off the APU bleed, APU master, and we are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to release the parking brake and head over to the runway.
Park brake off.
Park brake off, and there is a nice landing. Looks like a Ryanair. Really, by the way, Traffic Global by Just Flight has released an update, and it is really very good now. They fixed a lot of the issues that they've encountered in the beginning, and some of the things I pointed out in my video. Okay, so park brake is off, and we are good to go. Let's give it some power and head over to the runway. Alright folks, we are approaching the hold short point for runway 24 here at Edinburgh. So we're going to bring the aircraft to a complete stop and configure it for takeoff. Alright, here we go. Full stop. And parking brake is
on.
set. Landing lights on. Nose lights to takeoff. Strobe lights on. Wing lights on. And runway turn off lights off. And there we go. Let's release the parking brake.
Park brake off.
And there are no incomings. So let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, runway 24, we are cleared for takeoff.
Power set.
Mount flex, SRS, and runway.
and 100 knots.
Check.
Beat 1.
Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive climb.
Gears going up.
Gear up.
Alright, let's set climb thrust. Okay, climb thrust is set. Get some speed here. Right, we're going through some clouds here and slight turbulence here as we climb, but everything's looking good otherwise. Slight turn, and we're going to maintain our speed. We are at 3,000 now. You can begin to turn.
Need to check, sir. if everything is okay with the light.
All right, and at this point we can engage the
Autopilot
autopilot,
1, cross-check.
and we're start gaining some speed now. There is a restriction at 6,000. Terrain on ND. All right, and flaps 0.
0.
And as you can see now, we begin to accelerate and climb. All right, we can disarm the
Spoilers half. Spoilers retracted.
All right, spoilers are now retracted, and we continue to increase our speed now to 250 knots, and we're going to climb to 6,000. There is one restriction at 6,000 feet, and immediately after there's a restriction there, 6,000 feet, and then once we clear the restriction, then we can climb to our cruise altitude of 24,000 feet. All right, we're reaching the transition altitude, which is 6,000 feet. All right, let's go ahead and set barrel reference to standard.
Standard Barrow cross-check. Passing flight level 060.
All right, here we go. We are approaching 10,000 feet. All right, so our speed now will begin increasing to probably 280 knots or so. And what we'll do at this point is we will turn off the lights. Wing lights we don't need either. Everything else here is fine. And seatbelt sign is now off, and our passengers can wander around the cabin. Okay, everything's looking good now, so I will check back with you guys as soon as we level off at our final cruise altitude today of 34,000 feet, 24,000 feet. And I forgot to start the clock, so my bad. So we're going to start the clock now, and everything is looking good. Enjoy the flight. Welcome back, folks. We just leveled off at our final cruise altitude of 24,000 feet. And if we interrogate the McDo here and look at the top of the descent, is in about 48 nautical miles from our current position. Very short flight indeed, and we're going to go ahead and start preparing the aircraft for our approach. So we are going to head over to active sky, and we're going to enter our destination, which is Echo India Delta Whiskey. That's Dublin Airport. It is cloudy at the moment, 10 Celsius, and the QNH is 0998, 0998, and that's set. The temperature in Dublin is 10 Celsius, so we will set that here. 10 Celsius. Let's grab the surface winds, 260, 15 knots, 260 and 15 knots, and that is set. Transition altitude 5,000, VAP is 140. Doesn't want to let us do that. Okay, that's fine. The decision height is 250. We'll just stick that here, and now we are ready for the top of descent. Now we do have one restriction, as you can see right over here at Carib, so 8,000, and then we will continue at Kogax at 8,000. So we will reset the MCP altitude to the first restriction. So let's do that now. So we'll set this to 8,000. 8,000 feet is set, and now we are ready. I will check back with you 5 nautical miles before the top of descent. enjoy the flight. We'll see you soon. Alright folks, we are now 2 nautical miles from top of descent. So we're pretty close here. As you can see, this is the top of descent mark, and we can actually begin the descent now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an open descent. There we go, and we should now begin the automatic descent to our set altitude of 8,000. All is looking good now for our approach into Dublin, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the fasten seatbelt signs for our customers. We continue our descent to 8,000 feet, which is the first restriction. Everything's looking good. We're approaching 10,000 feet here, so we need to decrease our speed momentarily to 250 knots. And as you can see here, we are decreasing our speed, and the Mach 2 is taking care of it at this point. So there we go, that's about 270, and we should be at 250 knots below 10,000 feet. Alright, so 260 and then 250 for the speed below 10,000 feet. There we go, that's the 10,000 mark. We're going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights now, and continue to descend through 8,000 feet. We are now cruising at 8,000 feet, which is the current restriction. We can begin. We can see the traffic now here on the TCAS as we approach Dublin. We are, of course, at 250 knots and 8,000 feet. We're going to reset the MCP altitude to our platform altitude of 2,500 feet. All right, 2,500 feet, and we're going to begin the an open descent once more momentarily here. Let's see, that's Kirov, and that's Kogax, and this is where we still need to be at 8,000 here, so the restriction still applies here. And as you can see now, we're decreasing our speed to 230 knots, and we will momentarily begin the open descent once more for our platform altitude. There we go, and open descent. So we're going to begin now the descent to 2,500. And we continue our descent now to the platform altitude. Some clouds here in the vicinity here as we approach Dublin, but everything should be fine. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing system. All right, landing system is now active, and we're going to continue now to descend through 6,000 to 2,500. We are now approaching our transition altitude of 5,000. Let's go ahead and listen to ATIS.
Echo India Delta Whiskey Airport information Kilo 0730 Zulu weather wind 252 at 14 gusting to 24 visibility 10,000 sky condition few clouds at 1,000 temperature 9 dew point 7 QNH 0998 advice on initial contact information Kilo.
Alright, altimeter is now set.
India Delta Whiskey
information Kilo, and we are looking good now. Alright, approach phase is now active, and we are descending to 210 knots right here. (180). So momentarily we will extend flaps. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to flaps 1 now.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1. All right, let's increase the range here so we can see what's going on. Looks like there's an aircraft on final there. Alright, speed is going down. Flaps 2.
Flaps 2.
A little bit of gusting winds here as we arrive into Dublin. Alright, and now approach. Autopilot 2.
Cross check.
And I'm not sure what's going on with the speed now. So I'm just gonna set it here. Oh, the auto throttle was disengaged for some reason. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna just set it here to 140. Alright, gear down.
Gear down. Flaps 3.
Flaps 3. And let's see if we can go to manage speed now. Looks okay. And flaps full.
Flaps full.
Alright, we're looking good now. And we are right on the glide slope and localizer. And we're probably going to keep the autopilot on until we can see the runway. Alright, here we go. We have the runway in sight.
2,500.
2,500 from the touchdown zone. And all is looking good. Alright, we're looking good now. We're going to turn on the rest of the lights.
If everything is okay with the lights.
Alright, all is good now. We're still looking good, and as you can see, we are on the glide slope and localizer. You need to arm the spoilers.
Spoilers armed.
Spoilers are armed, and landing checklist, signs are on, cabin check, landing gear is down, spoilers are armed, flaps are full, and we have no blues. We are cleared to land, runway 28 at Dublin.
One
1,000 feet, and let's disengage the autopilot. My airplane. Little bit of wind here as we come into land. 2 whites, 2 reds, looking good. A bit high, we're a bit high, yeah. We can correct that.
500.
500 feet.
400. 100 above. 300. Minimum.
Continue.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Ground spoilers. Reverse green.
Alright, 80 knots and manual braking.
70 knots.
Oh, the passengers seem to approve of the landing. Alright, we're gonna make a final stop here and take a look at our landing.
Turn left 1.5. Left 1.5. Anyone at 0, get them all.
500. 200.
Radar, goedemorgen. Als we 255 zelf landing level
100. 100 above. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And welcome to Dublin, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and set the parking brake.
Park brake on.
And now we can turn off the engines. Beacon lights off. Taxi off. Nav lights off. Well, folks, this pretty much brings us to the conclusion of our flight today. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you have any questions, please do post them in the comment section below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.